So today we are looking at The Way, Way Back. This was a good movie, in all honesty. It stars Liam James and Sam Rockwell. The story of this movie is Liam James plays this kid who goes to work at this water park while he's dealing with his mother and her boyfriend and their rocky relationship. At this water park, he gains confidence and learns to be more outgoing and more of his own individual. The film also stars Sam Rockwell as one of the main lifeguards / attendants at the water park, who teaches Liam to be a better person, like more outgoing, more cool, stuff like that. This film, to me, hit me on a personal level, but more to that later. This film, the actors in it do a really good job of playing their parts. James does a great part of being awkward and eventually not being awkward as the film goes on. And Steve Carell, who plays the boyfriend of the mother, is really good in this role, actually. He doesn't play an idiot dork character like we're used to seeing him in. He actually plays a douchey, kind of cocky character. One of the trailer fodders for this movie was Steve Carell asking the kid, how would you rate yourself? And he's like, you're a 3. That is actually kind of cool, seeing him be a dick like that. My only real gripe with this movie is the love triangle, because this is a main gripe I have with a lot of romantic or dramedies or anything like that, is that the way Hollywood depicts love, it's just such a bullshit thing that it really pisses me off anytime it's depicted. Secondly is they don't paint Carell's character in a good light at all. It's kind of like they don't allow his character to say his side of the story. Like, at the end, he's a really big fucking douche at the end of the movie, but who wouldn't be when your girlfriend just broke up with you because her fucking kid did something? That I understand. I've felt a borderline connection with both the main character and Carell's character. I just feel he was given an unsympathetic chance in this film. Like, I don't know, this film did not paint him in a favorable light. But the other thing I like about this film is the way the love relationship with Liam James's character and the love interest, I can't remember what her name is, progresses. It progresses very slowly, very steadily. That's the closest I've ever seen anything real be depicted by Hollywood. It's just the fact that she's older than him, stuff like that. It doesn't really feel realistic in that sense, but the other way, it was depicted just fine, in all honesty. The real comedy of this film, though, comes from Rockwell's character. For like a good 10 minutes of the film, it's almost like comedic exposition, where it's just him showing James like different stuff around the water park, and his narration and him talking is the funniest thing in this movie. A second thing that's kind of played for laughs is the writer, and I'm pretty sure one of the directors, Jim Rash. Some of you out there might know him from Community. Others of you might know him as the writer and director, I do believe, of The Descendants. He plays this guy at the water park who always wants to quit and never does. He's like, I'm gonna quit and go be a storm chaser and go to Texas. And his whole thing about quitting is another amusing part of this movie. But other than that, I don't know, I just found this to be a really, really good movie. I connected personally with the main character and his journey from being awkward as hell to still being awkward, but not as much, and mostly just finding his voice and finding his own opinion and way of doing things. I believe we all struggle with that, and this is a very good movie for those of people out there who are struggling with that. This movie, as far as movies that are personal and connect with me, is up there with 1 Week. Whereas 1 Week, I find, makes you think of morality and death and what you've done with your life. This movie makes you think of where you stand with friends, family, and your own opinions. The ending of this, as I was watching it, I was praying they didn't cop out and have him go back to the water park. Because to me, the water park is his comfort zone. And what the water park did, it allowed him to become his own person. And if he returned, if the family said, fuck it, we're going back, so you can enjoy the water park and like enjoy the summer and do your own thing, then the movie wouldn't have meant as much. Because really at the end, to me, it seems like he's found himself at the water park and he's going on to do what he wants, like carving his own path. At the start-ish of the movie, when he first meets Sam Rockwell, he's playing Pac-Man, and he's talking to him about it. He's like, you can just memorize the patterns of the ghosts and get through the level. He's like, and Sam Rockwell's like, what's the point of that? You have to carve your own path in this game. You have to take chances, risk stuff. That is the whole idea, I believe, of this movie. The only problem with that is, like I said, it focuses more on the boy. I don't know, maybe there should have been a separate movie or a separate section of it focusing more on the family, like the mother and her boyfriend. I do have a feeling that ties into the boy's story as well. Like, we're not supposed to be observers of that relationship. We're just supposed to see it from the outside. And I do believe that's a main point of what's causing this kid's anxiety and awkwardness is the family dynamic. But I don't really know. I'd have to watch it again and look a little bit deeper into it than that. Alright, the reason why this movie hits me on such a personal level, the reason why I have such a personal connection to this film is I can relate with the character in being awkward. In all honesty, I was awkward like that. I'm not as awkward anymore. Earlier this year I started going out more, started being more outgoing, public, talking to people, and it paid off. I started getting into like groups, went hunting with a bunch of people and enjoyed that. This has been a big year for just me getting out more, doing more, and I wouldn't say I've always not liked people. I've just always preferred being by myself. Or when I wanted to not be by myself, my upbringing and my general appearance and awkwardness has made people not want to hang around with me. But thanks to a Sam Rockwell type person that I know in real life, I was able to overcome that and be more outgoing and more public and stuff. But I do believe it's now time for me to leave this water park. Like the character in the movie left at the end of the movie. By the time this is posted in June, I will have left where I am right now and will be moving on to perhaps greener pastures where more stuff will happen, and I will carve my own path. I won't hang around with the same people. I think that's what hit me the most in this film, was the idea of carving your own path. I've always been a big fan of that idea. I had a grad ring once that said "Born Free," because I do believe that we do make choices to be active and outgoing in what we do, or we can just sit around and observe. I choose to make a positive impact on what I'm doing. And I'm hoping that if anyone watches this video, they can understand and it will make them be more positive and outgoing. Just a few closing statements. If it wasn't for my friends and them shooting videos for school, I wouldn't have gotten into doing these vlogs. I wouldn't have found that I do have an inner passion for making films, and I hope to start making some independent films at some point. Also, a goodbye to all my classmates of Criminal Justice 2014. If any of you watch this, like, comment, subscribe, and I hope to make more of these vlogs. Hope this becomes a regular occurrence. Thank you. Goodbye.